AI isn't the threat. Our stress response is. AI disruption is happening faster than any change cycle we've experienced in our lifetimes. New tools, new workflows, new roles, and a whole lot of uncertainty. But here's the real problem. It's not AI. It's that overwhelming sense your team has. It's their biology. And as a stress physiologist, I study how humans react to uncertainty, pressure, and change. And right now, most organizations are making one critical mistake. They're trying to manage AI as if the threat is technological. It's not. The real threat is our brain's automatic response to uncertainty. And unless you know how to work with that response, not against it, your team will resist every tool, every rollout, and every innovation that you try to introduce. So today, I'm going to break down the science of how humans respond to AI disruption and how to lead your team through it with clarity, creativity, and confidence. Let's start with our biology. AI feels like a tiger to your brain. Your brain evolved for one core purpose: predict the future accurately enough to keep you alive. AI breaks that prediction system. We don't know what the tools will look like next year. We don't know what the tools will look like next week. We don't know what new roles will exist or what skills will matter. We don't know which workflows will vanish. And when your brain can't predict the future, it defaults to its oldest software, threat mode. Threat mode narrows thinking. It pushes people into worst case scenarios. What if my job changes too fast? What if I fall behind? What if I don't understand these tools? What if I become irrelevant? The irony, the moment you need your team to be their most flexible, their physiology pushes them into rigidity. This isn't a competence issue. It's not laziness and it's not resistance. It's biology. And ignoring biology is the fastest way to kill innovation. Let's talk about how to shift it. Stress isn't the enemy in AI change. Threat mode is. Stress gets a bad reputation in the workplace, but stress itself isn't harmful. The meaning we attach to stress is what determines performance. In fact, stress, interpreted correctly, is the fuel you need for creativity. AI disruption triggers stress because it signals something important is happening. Great, that energy is helpful. But if that same stress is interpreted as danger, your team goes straight into survival mode. Survival mode plus innovation, they don't mix. So step one in leading AI change is not calming people down. It's reframing the stress response from danger to challenge. Because here's the science. When people interpret stress as challenge, they gain 30 to 50% more cognitive flexibility, enhanced working memory, faster neural connectivity, and higher problem-solving accuracy. Plus, they have more creative idea generation. Translation, they get better at the very skills that AI disruption demands. Humans can handle new tools. We're actually great at adaptation. What we struggle with are the stories that we tell ourselves about what change means. AI triggers three core fears, deeply rooted in physiology. Number one, loss of confidence. Your brain hates not knowing. It feels like it's losing status. Number two, loss of control. Your prediction machine malfunctions. And three, loss of identity. The question no one asks out loud is, who am I if my job changes? These are not logical fears, they're limbic. And limbic fears require limbic solutions. Connection, curiosity, psychological safety, shared meaning. Not more data, not more dashboards, not more pressure. The future belongs to the leaders who understand that AI adaptation is not a tech problem. It's a nervous system problem. Curiosity cancels fear and unlocks AI adaptation. There's one tool, one biological lever that shuts off fear instantaneously. Curiosity. Curiosity and fear cannot coexist in the brain. There is literally no mechanism that allows for it, because for 200,000 plus years, nobody ever had a tiger charging them and went, I wonder how fast it's coming. They died. The moment you get curious, fear loses its grip. This is why the worst thing you can do in AI rollout is force compliance. The best thing? Create space for exploration. Leaders who introduce AI with play. Play with it. See what you notice. What surprises you? They get exponentially higher adaptation than leaders who say, here's the new tool, mandatory training by Friday. Curiosity turns threat mode into challenge mode. And challenge mode unlocks creativity. Of course, creativity drives innovation. If you want AI to work inside your organization, don't push harder. Get your team to be more curious. Navy SEALs, Olympic athletes, top performers of all kinds don't get calmer under pressure. They get better at using stress correctly because they train for discomfort. Your team needs the same thing, not in a sink or swim way, but in a controlled, intentional way that says small discomfort is safe. You won't die. Try the tool, experiment, play. Every micro discomfort that your team practices, trying a prompt or testing a workflow, exploring a new integration, it teaches the brain that every stress response doesn't mean it's a life and death situation. It doesn't mean there's a tiger charging us, even though that's what our default mode is. Stress response? Nothing bad happens. This dramatically increases resilience during large-scale AI change. Discomfort isn't the problem. Avoidance is. With AI, your team is watching you more closely than ever, and they're not listening to your words. They're reading your physiology, your posture, your tone, your pace, your breath. Remember the violin analogy. Two violins tuned to the same frequency will vibrate together. Pluck one string, and the other one will play the same note. Your team is wired the same way. If you show fear, they amplify it. If you show curiosity, they amplify that. So the leadership move in AI disruption is this: act as if. Act as if you're about to have an adventure. Act as if your team is capable of learning. Act as if this change is exciting, not threatening. Act as if you trust your people to figure it out. This isn't faking it. It's modeling. Your team tunes itself to the notes you play. So the real question is, what music are you playing? Here's a simple science-backed way to lead your team through overwhelming AI change. Step 1, long exhale. This signals safety. Step 2, reframe the stress. This is just energy helping my body to rise to this challenge. It's preparing me to perform. Step 3, ask a curiosity question. What else might be true? What can this tool do for me? What adventure might I have? Step 4, one next action. Not the 5-year digital transformation plan, just the next experiment. This keeps your brain and your team out of panic and inside possibility. Final message, AI isn't replacing humans. It's replacing threat mode humans. AI won't replace people, but it will replace people stuck in fear, rigidity, and reactivity. Humans who are flexible, curious, adaptive, collaborative, and innovative, they're going to thrive. And the leaders that will create those conditions will shape the next decade of work. AI is disruptive, but disruption is just another word for opportunity when your stress response is trained for challenge. So the real question isn't, how do we survive AI? It's, how do we use this moment to become better humans? Because the future of work isn't just artificial intelligence. It's amplified human intelligence. And you all have the biology you need to lead the way. Fear less, but stay stressed, my friends.